Being a wife is tough, but I imagine being the husband of an unruly wife is harder. She needs to be led by her husband, but she will not make it easy on him. Hey guys, how's it going? This is Jacqueline, the unimportant homemaker, and today I would like to talk to you guys about marriage. Being a wife is full of challenges. One verb definition of the word husband is to manage prudently and economically. This can be true of how a husband husbands his wife. My definition might sound like this. Husband, verb, to manage, marked by wisdom and profitability, a wife whom is entrusted to you. Here are 3 ways my husband leads me purely by his behavior. The first one is my husband waits and gives me time to realize how I have offended his leadership. I am a woman who is very passionate and emotional. There are times when I treat our marriage as if he and I are equals and that I have every right to behave as I please. A bit of this behavior comes partly from the influence seen on TV and the internet. A large portion is from my own sin nature. A small part comes from overfamiliarity. I start to treat him with contempt because maybe he has allowed me to do so. Or maybe I am just completely out of order. I used to get behind the most ridiculous rally cries I learned from the world, usurping his authority or challenging his right to rule. Since he is a long-suffering and extremely accommodating husband, he will correct me or stop speaking to me. A lot of the time, I lose his attention. This is usually a good approach because I become aware more quickly that I have offended his leadership. This quietness is not his norm. So when I notice it, I immediately begin scanning to see what I had said or questioning how my behavior might be out of order. After that, I humble myself and apologize, being very specific about what I did. He once told me that if he tells me what I did to offend him, I usually have some excuse or reason for it, so when he realized that I wouldn't hear the rebuke that way, he stopped talking altogether. He knows that I love his attention and that whenever I notice that he has been withholding it, I will start to get honest with myself and we'll find the breaking point. I thought that was a very wise and very accommodating thing for him to do for me. He could yell and accuse, or he could just give me time to figure it out. I am thankful for his leadership in this area. It allows me to take full responsibility for my actions, humble myself privately, and then ask for forgiveness. The second thing he does is he doesn't let my emotional nature dictate how he will behave. There used to be a time in my marriage when I would be able to sway my husband, to convince him to come over to my side, do things my way, or change his mind about something. He will now resist me until I bring myself under control. He isn't emotional or easily provoked by me anymore. So his maturity has helped take the wind out of my sail. I can easily get riled up about a vast variety of things. He is my steady rock. When I get back under his leadership, the wind and the waves don't toss me to and fro so much. A man has to remain steady. He cannot get on the emotional roller coaster along with his wife. If he does, he's no use to her. He has his own needs in those moments. So my husband will distance himself emotionally from me. I am not offended by this. Not anymore. His behavior taught me that sober-mindedness is wonderful, and it is what I ought to pursue. When in doubt, I will defer completely to him. During our menstrual cycles as women, we tend to be on a hair trigger. These are the very times when I do not trust myself to be stable-minded and rational. I will ask him to tell me what I should be doing or what I should work on. This frees me up to do the important things I want to do, but feel overwhelmed with choosing to do. He will decide for me, and I love this. This detachment he has concerning my emotional state is how he best leads me when I feel like I am the mayor of Crazy Town. And the third way he leads me is he will let me make my decisions and the ones I take a stand on, but he won't support my insubordination. This sounds harsh, right? Well, let me explain. So imagine me deciding that I want to start waking up at 3:30 a.m. in order to get a big jump on my housework. In my reasoning, I feel that I need 3 extra hours to complete all I want to accomplish that day. He will disagree with me. He feels that I would be better off getting my sleep and letting him take on some of my responsibilities. I get angry and snap that I should get to do whatever I want with my own body. So he backs down. Now, a few days in, I'm all blurry-eyed and irritated. I am not doing well mentally, and I am severely overworked. He will not step in and rescue me. Why? Because I chose to take a stand and be responsible for my own care, forfeiting his caretaking of me. He will not support my insubordination. He already knew because he remembered all the other times I declared a similar resolve that turned out horribly wrong for me. So he already knew how this would play out, but he let me try it anyway because he's nice. The minute I apologized for usurping his authority, he will rescue me from my mistakes. Last thing, like I said, being a wife is tough, but I imagine being the husband of an unruly wife is much harder. She needs to be led by her husband, but she will not make it easy on him. He has to learn her and understand her to be able to lead her. Hopefully, he has her cooperation. It's a real pity if he doesn't. What are some ways your husband leads you, and do you make it hard or easy for him to do his work? I hope that you will cooperate. It will go a long way in helping him do his duty towards you. Let me know in the comments below either way. As always, thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys next time here at the homestead.